here. It is not you guys. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time to have some fun tonight, man. I'm so excited about if I seem a little enthusiastic or above the top, man, it's because I got Dr. J and Suzi Carr in the house. We're all musicians, man. We go way back. Hi, Jay, how you doing? Suzi, how y'all doing, man?
Doing good.
Doing good to see you, Great Griffith.
All right.
Good to see you, brother.
Well, listen, man, I'm just going to say this. You know, when I stop the music, it's official, man. Thank you guys so much for squeezing a little guy like me in your schedules tonight, because I know you guys are going to be right over at the Hard Rock Hotel in about a couple of weeks from now, and that's what you're here for tonight. But you're really here because you're special people. And the main thing I want to bring to everyone's attention tonight, I go way back with Suzi Carr and Dr. J. And Dr. J is like family to me. You work with my sister for years. We're just going to have a little fun and tell you what it truly means tonight on the Activated Stagnate Show to have lasting relationships, to meet people who you connect with, people you have chemistry with, people that your spirit says one to. And for you guys, I mean, you work together, years and years and years together, and all of a sudden you have this reunion on this big #1 hit, Baby, I Love Your Way. So to tell you guys a little bit about our guests tonight, they're both, I mean, literally to me, legendary as far as, you know, we don't have to be rock stars to be legendary. I tell people that all the time because, you know, I'm still performing and I still feel like as long as they're giving us a paycheck, we are doing all right. And I think you guys can say that religiously because you're going to be coming in town. But Suzi, man, let me just say on what you've done and Jay've done with the Will the Power group that you guys had a #1 big record, Baby, I Love Your Way, you know, Freebird, that was next. I mean, back in 1988, I checked out your bio and it was telling me that on was it December the 3rd, 1988, if I have the date correct, that you guys garnered a #1 Billboard hit and certified. I even made my little copy of your certified gold record in case somebody want me to quantify in case they think it's allowed. Tell them, shut up. You know, so listen, you know, I know I'm not used to having more than one guest. It's always me and someone else. So I'm going to ask both of you the question, and I'm going to say, ladies first. Susan, what is your why? Why did you decide to become a singer? You got a degree in psychology, you know, and all of a sudden you turn it around and say, no, I think I want to do this music thing. What's your why?
I always say you don't pick music, music picks you because you become obsessed with it. It's something you have to do. It's not an option. You have to do it. So I grew up in a very musical family, and I remember from the age of 3 or 4, back in the day when they didn't have seat belts, I would stand up in the back of this old Cadillac, hanging on to the front seat, making up songs. So those are my earliest memories. And everyone in my family was musical. We all started piano at the age of 7. My brother was a year older than me. By the time I started, he was 8, and he was already playing like Liberace. So I hated piano. My dad let me quit like 4 or 5 times because he said I would pick up another instrument.
Well, listen.
I tried trumpet, but I couldn't play it. Anyway,
I think something. Why, I got to say this, Suzi. I just got to abruptly interrupt. I'm just going to go like, wow.
Thank you.
You know, I mean, you see now, as Zig Ziglar would say, you get the whole story. You know,
you get the whole story.
I
have to back up to the beginning.
That is so cool, man.
There were no female vocalists in my hometown. I was it. And well, I wasn't a singer by that time, but it was always my dream from a really young age. I wanted to be a famous singer. And then by the time I got to college, I wanted to be the greatest jazz singer that ever lived. As you can see, that didn't work out too well, but I shot for the stars and hit the tops of the trees. So my sorority made me
good for yourself.
You've done pretty good. But I saw it in your bio now. Wait a minute. I saw it in the bio. You did open and go on tour with the world famous Frank Sinatra. Come on, baby.
Yes, I did.
You know, so I mean, you did make some footprints there in the sand there that'll be with you forever. Too many people can say they would like to work with Frank Sinatra. You say you did. I mean, come on, man. You know, whether you did jazz or not, you had that opportunity. And why don't you let me just segue into that. What was that like? You were working and opening and touring with Frank Sinatra. Tell us a little bit about that.
I stood in the wings every night and watched him. He was always perfect. He was so classy. He wore these black patent leather tuxedo shoes. He had a tux on every night. He was fabulous and he was really nice. And it was one of my greatest accomplishments to be able to sing with him. His band was wonderful. His band loved me. They were great. They were so kind. And as I was going out, Randy Waldman was coming in. Jay, I don't know if you've ever heard this story. Randy Waldman was 18 and he had started playing piano when he was 3. His first job, he was Frank Sinatra's opening act. So as I was leaving, he was coming in. I wouldn't meet him until 10 years later when he came in to where Jay and I were working with George Benson. He was George Benson's musical director. And George came up on stage and sat in with us. And I went out in the audience and talked to Randy while George was up on stage playing Breezin'. And I met Randy then and didn't know until probably 5 years ago that he was with Sinatra the same year I was. It was his first. It was his first job. By the way, he's one of the greatest piano players in the world. He's Barbara Streisand's musical director, George Benson's, Josh Groban's musical director. He played on all the Whitney Houston, Celine Dion. Beyonce called him to do her national anthem. So anytime you hear her singing the national anthem, that's Randy's arrangement. So he, fast forward, he produced 5 songs on me and we got nominated for Grammy a couple of years ago. So that was my dream. I mean, Jay and I both we were overqualified really to do Will to Power, but it was our greatest success. But anyway, that we both got to do our dream.
Well, you know
Jay
something?
got to have his #1 jazz records and I got to have my very sophisticated pop records. So.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you know, I have to say this, and it's I mean, being real about it. Nobody, and you said it. That was the most superb answer that anyone could give when I said, "What is your why?" You said, "Music found me."
That's
right. So that's something I call the innate, the intrinsic, the inherent, which is inborn in us. That some kind of way it does find us. You know,
exactly.
And like for instance, I'm holding up one of my 25 marathons, and let me tell you something. I remember when I couldn't run a mile, and it's very relevant to the analogy to what you said. I got into running. Running found me. I walked out my classroom. I'm a retired teacher, and I saw 40 kids. I asked the guy, could I help them out? And the rest is history. I started running with these kids. And when you got something that's already innately, intrinsically, inherently inborn in you, you know what? You can't stop it, you know, it's going to happen, you know, and I went on to run 25 marathons, you know, because of the addiction I had to running, like you ran on with your life, still doing what you do, man. So, you know, the reality is this. Now, Jay, got to ask you that same question, my brother. I mean, what is your why? What made you feel like, well, music is my thing. I want to do this. Come on, holler at me about that.
Well, I totally agree with Suzi. I mean, you can't come up with a better answer.
In my family, it's very interesting. I would say that because, you know, my mom sung all the time. And, you know, we're going to talk about FAMU right now because you brought it up. I might as well segue into it. You and I went to FAMU. You and I went to Marching 100 together.
Yes,
I mean, man, it's almost, you know, I never would imagine we'd even be sitting there talking about this. And when you were telling me I was there a year ahead of you, you came right after me. But I totally forgot, Jay, that you are born and raised in Tallahassee. It keeps slipping my mind that that's your hometown. And the fact that, you know, and guess what? I spoke to Curtis King the other night.
Oh,
now I don't know if Suzi knows Curtis or not.
Oh,
you know, world famous background singer, still touring with Bruce Springsteen. And the reason why I spoke to him is back to what we're going to talk about at length tonight. When you're in an industry where there's truly a passion and you're connected to that purpose, every time you knock on the door, the universe just seems to answer you. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I've been in music all my life too. Jay, you toured with my sister Ruby Baker for years. Y'all been all over the world together, doing all kind of things together. And my sister was my lead singer at 12 years old. My family, just like you, Suzi, we've just known music. When I was 16, we got our first band. Ruby was the singer. And I told my family, I would hear her sing. I say, man, something's there. We better do something, you know. And well, the rest is history. You know, she can sing Natural Woman right now and make me and Jay cry. You know,
I know,
wow.
right?
You know, and you know, the reality is, man, that by no coincidence, man, that we would have a conversation like this tonight, that all of us would tie in. You guys worked at the Marriott right down the street from me at the Pier 66. Suzi, you wrote songs for girl Estefania. May as well bounce back to you for a minute, because both of y'all have shared some incredible wives. Now, my paradigm has shifted. I'll never see you the same. You know, because you just gave me some valuable quantifiable data, aside from having that number one hit and coming here to come to the Hard Rock on August 28th. I'm gonna keep plugging you guys, because that's why I know you're here tonight. They got a big show coming up at the Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida. Because you're listening on Facebook, you're watching me over on Instagram. Suzi Carr, let me tell you something, man. When I read your bio and that you wrote some songs for Gloria Estefan, and then turn around, my sister would go on tour with Gloria Estefan, and she probably singing some songs that background that you wrote. You see, you all deserve to be right here on this platform tonight. You see, people don't understand. There are so many ways in the music industry to be a success story, and a lot of times it's behind the scenes. It's truly behind the scenes. And Suzi, you're a classic example. You're speaking at Jay. You went all the way over to Singapore, man. You went over there, stayed 6 years, and the next thing you know, you're a smooth jazz artist. They got you touring all over Southeast Asia. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I'm speaking to icons tonight. I want to give you all a chance to just take that in, man. You know, so
I love you, brother.
What is the big question I have to both of you? Suzi, what brought about the idea of coming to South Florida? I want you to kind of talk to us about what happened. That, oh wow, they're bringing "Baby I Love You" way, you know, coming back, you know. So I need, how did that all come about?
You mean coming down this next week, or the first time in my life?
No, coming to the Hard Rock, you know, coming
the Hard Rock. I did a show in Atlantic City, New Jersey in May 2nd. It was fabulous. It was with Taylor Dane, Stevie B. There were like 10 of us on the bill. And I had never worked with this promoter, Joe. I loved him. He was so classy. He's Italian from New Jersey. He reminded me of Sinatra's crew. It was he took such good care of us. And I said to his partner, I said, you guys remind me of Sinatra's crew, being on the road with him. And the partner said, well, Sinatra's manager was my mentor. So I thought, oh, that's really cool. Wow. So the show went great. And he said to me, you know, we should have put you on later. We put you on too soon. And so that made me feel great. So the next day they called me and asked me to come to Hard Rock in Hollywood, and Rigo was on it. Rigo Garcia, who we've known forever, he was at the very first show we ever performed at 1235. Remember, Jay?
Oh, yeah.
He counted the people who entered 1235, and the exact amount of people were the opposite of 1235, 5321. There were 5,321 people at that show. Did you know that, Jay?
I did not.
Such a great story. Anyway, he was only 16. So he'd seen us perform, you know, for years. And we weren't in South Florida that long, but probably 3 years in South Florida. So when they called me and asked me to do the show, and he was on the phone and he three-wayed it, he said, you got to have Dr. J on the show. You got to have him on the show. He's got to come out and do Brass Monkey. And I'm thinking, okay, I don't know if he's going to want to do Brass Monkey, but definitely Jay. And I said, well, hey, listen, Delray, I'm going to have dinner with him in 2 nights. I'm going to ask him and see if I can talk him into playing with us. So that's how that came about.
Wow.
We haven't been in South Florida for 37 years.
Wow.
37 years,
37 years, you're right.
36
Absolutely.
or 37. I moved out here in 90. And we haven't played there since 90. So this is like really fun for me. I'm going to love having Jay up.
You said 37. Let me make sure. In 37 years since you all been here, since you've been able to perform.
Since we performed our Will to Power songs.
Will to Power.
Yeah, in South Florida. And that's where we're from. That's our home, you know, that's our home base from back in the day. I moved out here in 90. I haven't performed there since 90. Have you, Jay? You haven't either, have you? Just where you're at.
You moved out to LA in 90. You moved to LA in 90, right?
Yeah,
You
I moved
said
to LA
okay.
in 90. Exactly 26, let's see, 36 years this month, like in a week is
Wow.
my anniversary, 36-year
That
anniversary
is
this month.
Wow.
incredible, man.
I
You know,
know.
and you know,
It's
music
time for you
will
to
have
come
a way
home,
to bring you
Susie. Come
full circle.
home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, man, and
it
bring
is
you
full
back.
circle. Because I
Yes.
keep telling them when Joe called me to do it, I said, I think I might retire. This might be my last show. And they go, yeah, you're going to be like Cher. You're just going to keep coming back saying, yeah, I'm retiring. And then you come back. And I said, well, that's not a bad idea. I like it.
Well, you know, the fact, I have to make sure that one of the main reasons for the presence of you two tonight, aside from your performance coming up, is the relationship component.
Oh, it's
I'm
been
very
a
huge.
magical
I
relationship.
was telling Jay that, the young lady Rachel Brown's been working with me since the year 2000. We got a solid 25 years in. I remember when she started working with me, and I don't know if you all remember Saron's, the nightclub back in the day over there off Sample Road and the Turnpike. It was one of those 6 night a week gigs, we all had back in the day,
Yeah.
like Pickles and Septembers and Yesterdays and as well as the Pier 66 in the Marriott. And point I'm trying to make to you is this, man, that when relationships start and people have chemistry that's just God-given, that they can just come together, and they get past every single thing that I'm sure you all been through, like I've been through with Rachel and even my own sister, working with her all my life. But when there's a bond, when there's something that brings you together, and it's through something like music, which is the universal language, I have to commend you guys, man. Because the loaded question I kind of skipped over is, how did you and Jay meet, Suzi? How did this relationship just happen to come about that you guys would end up working like you did back in Fort Lauderdale at the Marriott? Tell our audience all about that. What's the etiology on you and Jay?
I love that you asked this question. Okay, I got to back up to how we got to the Marriott. Okay. I was singing at September with an 18-piece band. I don't know if you ever saw all of us. We had a string section. We had 4 lead singers. So Pete Roberts owned the Marriott, and he used to come in all the time to September. That's right. Well, he pulled me aside and he offered. Charles was the other one of the really fabulous lead singers, Charles Russo. He was great. And he pulled the two of us aside and said, I want you to come to the Marriott and work for me. And he said, I want you to put a band together. So we did, and it was a great band. And when we started that Marriott, out of every Marriott in the world, the whole world, it was the least money-making Marriott in the world. Within a month, it became the number one moneymaker for Marriott lounges in the world. So it was very successful. We had the pace plaque every night. So here's where Jay comes in. So we first had Casey and the Sunshine Band sax player, Little Tim. He was a little tiny thing, like 5'1" or 2. He was adorable. And we loved him. And he went back on the road with,
He was a sweetheart.
Did you ever meet Little Tim, Jay?
I met him.
Oh, he's sweet. He went back on the road with Casey. So we were looking for a sax player. So I remember going to this psychic, and she said to me, the guy you're going to hire wears jeans all the time, and he's going to be one of your best friends for life. It makes me want to cry when I think about it.
I never heard this.
You never heard that, did you? So when Jay came in, he had jeans on, and I'm thinking, oh, God, that's him. So he auditioned. He was phenomenal. He started working with us. And that's how we started working together. And I have to say, Jay is the easiest friend I've ever had. We've never had a fight. We've never had a disagreement.
Wonderful
We've never
people.
butted heads.
Yes.
He's the easiest friend I've ever had in my whole life. And I'm so thankful to you, Jay. You're just such a blessing in my life. I love you so much.
I love you too, Suzi. I'm so grateful for you. I mean, because you pulled me into all these opportunities. I would have never had an opportunity to be a part of a number one record without you. And I'm so grateful.
Thank you. Let me add one more thing. So when Dreamin' broke, Jay and I were playing in this club above Cats. Cats was where all the drug dealers hung out. It was in, where was it, Jay? Was it in Coconut Grove, somewhere down there?
Well, I think Coconut Grove, the Mayfair.
Yeah, it was in there. So we were playing there, and Dreamin' I had just gotten on the radio. Bob worked at the radio station, the producer, and the writer, and he got it on the radio. It was at 9 at 9. They did the top 9 songs at 9 o'clock. They would count down. So Jay and I would go into the restaurant. They were cooking. So we go into the kitchen back there where the chefs were, where all the Mexican chefs were back there, and they loved Power and 96. It was on 96.
Yep, Power 96.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was on Power.
Yep,
so we would go back there to listen to the countdown every night, and every night it'd go 9, 8. Every night it would get closer and closer. It hit number 1 while we were down there playing. So we had to perform. Our first show was at 12:35, like I just said, and there were 5,000 whatever, 300 whatever people there, and so we didn't have a show. Bob was a DJ. He'd never really done much, work on stage, much less had an actual show, an entertaining thing. So Jay and I called Jay and I said, you got to do this show with us. It's just Bob and I, and he doesn't really do anything except pretend to play keyboard. So Jay comes on, and oh my God, he was so amazing. These girls would go crazy. Everybody did. Everyone went crazy over Jay. He would hype the crowd. He'd come out and play sax in the beginning. And in the beginning, Dreamin' was our only hit. So we did, remember Jay, we did that Janet Jackson song.
Yeah.
Do you remember? We did that one, and all in all, we just added 2 or 3 songs that were somebody else's songs that we did. But anyway, that's how Will to Power got started.
So Jay, to make sure I'm with you. So Jay, you just found out about the audition to back this up to the true etymology, the origins of this. You just found out about the audition and say, hey, I'm going to go and audition for this job at the Marriott, right?
How'd you find out, Jay? How'd you find out about it?
Well, my buddy, Leonard Bruton, he was at FAMU with us, and Leonard had already moved down to Fort Lauderdale.
Bruton?
I guess he used to come to the Riverwatch all the time, and he knew Bocat. I mean, because Bocat was in the band.
Leonard knew Bocat?
Yeah, they were all in the band together at FAMU. Yeah, because Bocat was a tuba player in the band at FAMU.
Yeah.
Did you know Bocat as well?
Yeah. I knew him. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is so. Well, see,
that's how I got the word about that they were looking for a saxophone player.
Now, Suzi, I got to ask you a question. What years were you at September? Because my sister Ruby. I brought her down from New York, New Jersey to audition for September's, and she immediately got the job. So I don't know what years were you there? When did you take off and go to the Marriott?
Okay, it's a good story. I'll make it as short as possible. So I started Uptown. I was singing at the Cricket Club. It was a private North Miami club where all the drug dealers hung out, and there was a jazz group there and a dance group. So I was in the jazz group. And that's how I met Larry Dermer, who produced all of the Gloria Estefan things. He was a keyboard player for the pop group. Diane Chereau, she was a great singer. I was with the jazz group. So Mike Vitro was the manager. They were just starting Uptown. It was still under construction. So the owner,
Mike Vitro. Yes.
Mike Vitro and Steve Vincent. I just talked to him recently. Mike Vitro and Steve Vincent came into the Cricket Club and hired me on the spot. I remember what I had on that night. I had my favorite outfit on. So we started rehearsing for Uptown. This was in 1970. I think it was 1978 because it was the year my dad died that I was at the Cricket Club. So that's how I remember the year. So we started rehearsing, and I remember the architect's wife, Mary Duncan, who was my greatest mentor, said to me, when you're on stage, you just act like that's your pulpit and you're like a preacher and you're giving and preaching to all these people, preaching love. Anyway, I've never forgotten it. It's one of my favorite things anybody's ever taught me. So I always love that. So Uptown was a huge success. It was packed every night. All the drug dealers hung out there. So one of the drug dealers made a deal with Steve Vincent, the owner, to let us go down to Medellin, Colombia, to sing for the cartel, which we knew nothing about. We had no idea. It was Pablo Escobar's people. We didn't know. We didn't know who he was.
Serious?
So there were 15 of us. Have you not heard this story, Jay? It's such a good one.
I never heard this story.
Oh my God. So 15 of us flew down. Mike Vitro came. That was 16. They had Charlie, my boyfriend, go because he was 6'4" and he spoke the language. So 17 of us go to Medellin. And we're there we were only supposed to be there for a week. So we're playing in this little, like, I don't know what it was. It was like there were broken Coke bottles stuffed in the holes of the walls. It was this little tiny hole in the wall joint that we had a 15-piece band stuffed in there. I don't know what that was about. So anyway, they say, oh, you got to stay. They say, and they drove 2 vans of us up on top of the mountain where Griselda Blanco grew up and showed us what the locals, how they lived. It was really beautiful. It was a beautiful place, but it was, Medellin. It was third world country at the time. So they say you got to stay another week.
The years that you worked there, I'm very curious. I wanted to make sure I got the years. So how long did you work
I'm getting there.
September's?
I'm getting there. I started at Uptown. After the drug deal, Steve Vincent he created September. He built it. And he moved me over from Uptown to September because he wanted to be real elegant. So he added the string section. So it was very different from Uptown. Uptown was hard hitting dance music. I did all the Donna Summer stuff. He wanted September to be very elegant. So we dressed like Diana Ross in long sequin gowns. And he gave me money to go out and buy clothes for Debbie, who was the other girl that sang. So anyway, it was great. It was fun. So that's how September got started. And then, so that was in 79, I believe, because I was I think I was in September, 78, 79. Then I went to September in 79 when we got back from Medellin and he built the club. And then I went to the, Pete Roberts stole me from September in 85. I think, was it 85? No. I think it was 80. No,
it had to be.
It was 80, 81.
Wow.
I was gone by the time your girl got there.
I have to say this. The reason why I'm asking those questions, because, man, the fact that, see, I knew you worked September's, but I didn't know when. I didn't know the timeline because I know you didn't work.
I was there in the beginning.
Right.
You opened the doors. 2 years before he stole me. And I got sued. Steve Vincent sued me for leaving. Yeah. That was kind of, that was.
I tell you what.
So when I gave him the settlement money, I loved his mother. She used to come in and sit upstairs and watch us at September. And when I had to give him money, I said, this check goes to your mother. Because he was very wealthy. He didn't need the money. I said, you give this check to your mother. And that was our settlement when he sued me.
Wow.
Anywho.
So they sued you for leaving September's to go to the Marriott.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I think it was 80, 81. I can't remember.
Did you work with Chris James?
Yes. What year did she come in?
Chris worked with my sister Ruby Baker at September's. That's why I
never met Ruby.
I know you never met her because you were a predecessor. You were there before. And here's what's interesting about that is that it's the funny thing, man. My sister stayed in Newark, New Jersey, because we went to Jersey right out of FAMU, Jay. We left. I left FAMU in 76. I got on the back of a U-Haul truck. Me, my sister Ruby being one of 7 other musicians, and went straight to Newark, New Jersey. Andre's family, our guitar player, you know Andre. They gave us a home to live in, gave us a whole basement, and me and my sister shared a bed on the 3rd floor. And when I came back to Florida, because it got so cold, as soon as the winter hit, we all said, that's it. We got to come back. But Ruby stayed in Jersey. Point I want to make. She said she fell in love with this guy that she met at a gig we did or something. And he went on to have her, he was the father for her only daughter, Leontine. You know Leontine.
Yeah. Yes.
And Linwood. And here's the point I'm making, man. I come to South Florida. I leave that original band, Suzi. We did 2 albums together. We actually came to, that's why I know Henry Stone and Steve Alamo and all those guys real well, because I came to TK Records when KC was just breaking and Betty Wright let us stay at her house. and King's Mortis.
Whoa.
So Bobby Caldwell, Chocolate Perry, the bass player, T Connection, Foxy, Anita Ward, all of those. We were at TK Records during that time, and 6 months later, we opened for Marvin Gaye. We had a great run.
Wow, that's amazing.
And what happened was, while I moved down here, I got on the circuit real quick with Dick Barton. You all know Dick Barton, the Southern Nights, you know. Yeah. So and what happened was, he asked me, say, "Hey man, I got a singing position coming up at the #1 club down here, man." And I said, "Man, I need to get my sister down here, Dick, because I know she's the one. I know she's the one." And the point I'm making is this: it sounds like your exodus out was probably right around that same time.
Probably.
And guess what? They did the same thing they did to her. She came in 85. 84, 85. Because I remember I was working Yesterdays. You know Tessie Porter, right? You know the singer Tessie? Tessie and I was working together at Yesterdays. I had the house gig at Yesterdays. I landed the house gig for Ruby at September. But you know, Yesterdays was right around the corner from September there on Oakland. And here's the point. When she came down here, they did the same thing you just said. They bought all her clothes. They bought Ruby a BMW and paid the entire lease up. I mean, she was premier there, man. And I mean, and the same thing, it was a 15-piece band, 5 singers, and it was, and probably the epitome of anybody working on the club circuit, Suzi, was where you worked. That's why for you to share that with our audience tonight, that you guys are truly the icons that have left South Florida. You're coming back. You're here now. You're going to be doing it. So, you know, I want you to talk a little bit more about the show. Is it just you guys performing? Go ahead, do your thing, do your plug. I can't believe we've been in this already 35 minutes. So
I want it's so much. It's so much
give a
to
good plug for the Hard Rock. Go ahead and tell everybody about that, when it's going to be, the whole 9 yards.
Jody Watley, Samantha Fox, Timmy T, Jay, who else? Turnier. There's 15 people on the bill. Jay and I make 15. They added us just because they like the New Jersey show, and we got
they
lucky
love
and
you,
got on the
Susan.
bill.
They love you. That's why,
Who else is on the bill? I can't remember. There's so many. Noel, isn't Noel on it?
Noel.
There are a lot of freestyle artists on it.
So how many acts total? How many?
15.
What?
It's probably even more now, right? Maybe 16.
No, we make 15.
Oh, we made the 15th.
Wait a minute.
There were 14. They added up.
I got to make sure everybody watching and listening hear this. You're coming to the Hard Rock. You're getting classic R&B and pop. It's going to be 15 acts. It's August 28th. Am I correct? August 28th?
August 28th.
Yes.
Yeah.
Friday night.
It's a Friday night. You know, I might have to talk to you about a couple of tickets or something that
I have to say something. 2 things. Bobby Caldwell produced the first 2 songs I ever wrote, and he was amazing to work with. And did you know Joe Galdo from Foxy, the drummer? He was Foxy's drummer. That's how I got those. That's how I got the Gloria Estefan songs. He had produced a demo for me. Gloria heard it, wanted to do the song. She copied it to a T. I mean, she did everything that I did. I can't copy people. The way she copied me was amazing. So they kept my background vocals on both songs, and that's how I got the Gloria Estefan songs. It was through Joe, who was with Foxy. He was a drummer of Foxy. He's a wonderful man. I love him.
And tell Gigi that you had Bobby Caldwell's guitar player played with us.
Alphonse! Alphonse played with us at the Riverwatch. That's right. Alphonse wrote "What You Want to Do for Love" with Bobby Caldwell. He never got paid. He sued, and didn't he get paid, Jay, around 90? I think he got paid around 1992 or something when I moved out here. It was after I moved out here he got paid. Did you know, Jay, that he finally got paid for "What You Want to Do for Love"?
Right. His name was on the credits, though, I believe. Right?
Oh, good. But he never got his royalties, and finally after 90, huh?
He never got any money, though.
No, not until I think it was around 92, and then Tony Smith and I wrote 2 of the best songs I've ever written. And we had Alphonse play on them in Nashville. Alphonse had moved to Nashville, and he played on that record. Did you know that, Jay? I'll send it to you. It's
I
really
didn't.
good.
He was amazing. He was amazing.
He was amazing. Yeah. He was Brazilian, and one day he died not long ago. You knew he died.
I thought he was Italian, because that's the way he carried himself, like an Italian to me.
Yeah, he did have an accent. He had an American accent, but yeah, he was Brazilian.
You're Brazilian.
And one night he would always come in a half an hour early to the Riverwatch to set up, put all his pedals and everything, and tune his guitar up. He'd come in at 8:30, and then we'd start playing at 9. One night he said, "I'm going to go next door to CVS. I'll be right back." Never came back.
Never came back.
Never saw him that night. Remember, Jay? It was so freaky.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy. Anyway, well, listen,
now,
Gigi, at this part in the show, I got to do a little something. I'm sorry, Jay. I didn't realize how long we're doing this. On every Thursday night, ladies and gentlemen, I have to also make sure that you understand that these books represent the masterclass that I have on Thursday nights. There's a link there that says theactivator.net. All you can do is go to theactivator.net. If you're trying to eradicate pain points, if you're trying to define yourself for the new you, if you're trying to live your AI, your authentic identification, if there's a better version of you, that's my job. That's the activator. So I want to invite you out on Thursday nights. All you have to do is go to that link, click it. It'll put you right into the Get Activated community. I have a Get Activated community that's a $97 a month buy-in. That's $3 a day. I think you spend more than that at Starbucks. So if you want to come into the class, I held my books up because you'll get a hard copy of one of them and an electronic copy of the other. They're both on peak performance. They're both on time management. I said a little earlier in the show that, you know, you never ran a marathon. Maybe you want to run your first one. You never wrote your first book. Maybe you might want to get a mentor to show you that I have 2 of those books. One of my books was placed in the entire Broward County public school system vocational classrooms. I'm very honored to say the assistant superintendent endorsed the book. If you want to become a real estate investor, I still own an apartment building in Tampa, Florida. I would love to be anyone's mentor who's seeking to function at their maximum potential. Because you know something? It's always waiting. A better version of you is waiting. And I'm the one to tell you to take my personal assessment. You click theactivator.net, the personal assessment comes up. It's going to ask you some of the same questions. Well, is the fear of failure winning the game? Are you in toxic environments around toxic people? Or do you have pain points that you need to get past? Are you living in imposter syndrome? That is the job for you to take that assessment, find the weak points, and then come in. And I'll tell you this, I have 26 strategies because I use them like there's 26 alphabet and 26 miles in a marathon. But I give you the first 7 and tell you, take action, believe in yourself, know you're the captain of your ship. You're here to make a commitment. Know you have a burning desire and a dream, and you stay disciplined. You wake up every day energized with relentless enthusiasm. You stay fired up with your faith faculty, and you set realistic goals, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, baby. And you can take my 30 Days to Know You challenge, come into my camp. You hang out with me for 30, 60, 90 days. I give you 1 month unconditionally free. Now I have a 30 Days to Know You, what I call MPC, and that'll wrap it up tonight. That's maximum potential coaching. If you want more than once a month with me, you can get me every week on a monthly basis. Same story. 30, 60, 90 days, you get 1 free. So just remember, if you want to go to the website and get in, if not, everything's free on Thursday night. The masterclass is about empowering you to define yourself for the next level. So, ladies and gentlemen, I had to make that plug because I didn't realize that we are 40 minutes into the show, and I should have done it.
Oh my God!
Way back.
So fast.
You know, but I've been so just fired up, man, that I would never see you 2 the same again.
Oh, wow!
Never, ever. And Suzi, if my schedule permits, seriously, I really would love to come there and check the show out. And I'm all jokes aside, if somebody giving you some tickets and you can throw a couple for me and Miriam, I'll be glad to squeeze that in my schedule and come on in regardless, you know. And all those people you mentioned, did you say Taylor Dane, Jody Watley? Could you recap us once again? Who is the headliner for that night? Who they
Jody
saying?
Watley. Jody Watley's the headliner. And she doesn't like to go on last. She likes to go on in the middle of the show. So Jay and I'll probably be 1 or 2 acts right before her. And she doesn't like to go on last. So she's a headliner. I'd say Samantha Fox is next. Trenier. Who else, Jay? I can't remember.
I can't remember. It's too many. No, well, you did. You
I
said
think
Noel.
Oh, Dave Moran, the DJ, the real famous DJ. DJ Felix. He was on Power for a long time. 96, yeah. He worked with DJ Laz, Jay, on Power. I don't know. There's a bunch. Go to we have both Jay and I have it posted on our Facebooks and our Instagram. So go there. The Real Suzi Carr. And what's yours, Dr. J? What's your Instagram?
My Instagram and Facebook. Johnny James Inc. Johnny James Inc. Dr.J.
And we have all the information there where you can go buy tickets at Ticketmaster.
Well, listen, I'll say this. One other question before we get away from the promotion of the show, but I wanted to make sure that everyone knows the uno reason why you guys are here tonight is for that great R&B pop show that's going to be on August 28th on Friday night at the Hard Rock, which is a beautiful venue to come into and just really enjoy yourselves. Right. And maybe Jay's daughter, Brittany, and Chadwick might be in the lounge around the corner. Because
I was hoping they'd be on stage with us. I don't think I'm having much luck with that.
Jay, let me tell you something. I don't know if Brittany and they told you that they performed with me at the Boca West Country Club for Valentine's Day. We did a big Valentine's Day gala together, and man, both of them were little fireballs, man. And to go and honestly, obviously I know Brittany for years, but I didn't know Chadwick. And I didn't realize the kind of chemistry they really got, man. So I went to see them at the Hard Rock to just check them out in the lounge. You got to go see somebody before you just throw them on in a 10-piece production, And I said that, and I'm very fortunate, man. I'm still working these clubs. I'm still doing the 4 and 5-star country clubs in the area. So I can't really complain. It's a blessing, man. I just did Boca Point the other night, so I give all glory to God. And guess what? I still even go over. It's called City Fish now. I know y'all remember Peace.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Boca.
Yep. It's now City Fish, and I was just there Saturday night. So for me, I'm doing all the things you see me doing with my YouTube show, with my master class on Thursdays, but music is my first love. It's my passion. And the reason why I brought that up, and I brought up Curtis King, because I didn't want to cap the show off and not bring up why it's so relevant. Curtis King and does Suzi know Curtis or know of him at all?
Oh, yeah. She knows
Quickly. This is what a small world it is. My cousin, who's like my sister, she's coming to see us at the Hard Rock. She lived in New Jersey her whole adult life, and she and Curtis lived one door apart on the same street. So when Jay and I would go to New York to perform, we would go out and see Curtis, and we would stay with Pam at her house on College Avenue. So it's a small world. Yes, I love Curtis. And little
it's
Curtis
so funny.
World.
One of these marathons was one of these medals in the back represents the New York City Marathon. And guess what? That's the last time I saw Curtis King in person. 20 years ago. 20 years ago for my 50th birthday, I went to New York City and ran the New York City Marathon. And Curtis and I had dinner in New York City.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's beautiful, man. That's a blessing there.
But the reason why I got to go full circle and bring it up is because it's so relevant to the etiology of who we are as entertainers, who we are as songwriters, who we are as live performance producers, who we are as performers in what we do. I call Curtis King up because I don't know if you know Neil Pedro, who's a great guitar player. He's doing all the cruise ships and all this now. He was on the circuit back there with us also. Neil's niece is a singer. And this is how small the world is too. And it's so relevant to this about relationships. Neil sent me some tracks on his niece. They would come on WhatsApp. I don't use it that much, right? But because of my tech assistant on WhatsApp, my web guys over in India, I'm online with them. And one of his messages pop up on WhatsApp. He said, hey, man, I sent you these songs about 3 months ago. Did you hear them on my niece, man? She got something. And I know if anybody could get out there a little bit, it would be you, G. So I listened to the songs. Boy, the girl hit me in the ear hole, man. She hit me right in the ear hole. I said, wait a minute. It's more of an Afrocentric, Afrobeat, Jamaican kind of thing, but it's got a pop flair to it. And she's a fireball. Her name is Ariel Blackwood, if you could check her out. And point is this. I said to myself, well, you know what? I got to explore this girl a little bit further. I check out her YouTubes. I find out she's a, listen, and you remember Daryl Tooks, surely, right?
Yeah.
Daryl Tooks was her professor.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
Come on, man. Daryl, and you know, Daryl and Curtis are top session guys in New York City for a long time. Right. She said, Professor Tooks, she said, Daryl Tooks and Curtis King. And when I rang his name, she said, wow. And, you know, Daryl now is a professor down in FAMU now, you know? Yeah. Wow. How small is the world? And then the deep part of all of this is Curtis is in New York City. I put Curtis in touch with Ariel.
Wow. Yeah.
Jesse, y'all know Jesse Campo, Jesse Alvarez, the singer Jesse. Both of y'all. I know you know Jesse, right? Don't y'all should know Jessie. She performed around here like you and I for 20 years or more. She's still performing like me. When COVID-19 came, Jessie got her Berkeley instruction music business credentials in publishing. I call up Jessie. I tell her about Ariel, and I'm going to wrap this up on a very positive note because it's never a coincidence. I say, Jessie, this young girl, man, she got me going here a little bit. I had managed it once since I managed you know, Rachel Brown, I took her to a #1 single in Billboard, you know, with Let's Fall in Love Again. And nothing heavy like that since then, just performing, doing my thing. I said, this girl got something. That girl graduated from New York University, vocal and dance major. She stayed in New York. And listen to this. Guess where she lived? Where? Around the corner from my son.
Wow.
What? Oh, my gosh. Wow.
In Valrico, Florida, right outside of Brandon, Tampa. Around the corner from the strip mall I own in Brandon, Florida was right around the corner from them. And I said, what? Valrico? She went to the high school my granddaughter just graduated from.
Really?
This girl on a flute,
guitar.
Listen, a musician, relationships. And I don't know if y'all remember, you all have been away, but you might, Jay Mulligan's. The Mulligan's chain around like Pickles used to be. There was and Neil became an agent and called me up, and that's how I got reconnected with him. He booked me to go in and do Mulligan's, you know, and I ended up being there with me and Rachel and other singers for about 2 years, man. And so I said to myself, wait a minute, it's too many coincidences here. And that's my point about when you get a vibe going, you get energy going, and it's all in the name of your skill set, your intellectual property. And now I got to meet Ariel Sunday. Of all the times I could, and let me back this up. Curtis is getting ready to meet her. Jessie was in New York City when Ariel connected with her. Jessie released an all Latin CD record, took Ariel to the red carpet introduction of her CD. Now, I mean, that's great. All of this happened in a matter of 3 to 4 weeks. So I said to myself, relationships. YouTube. Relationship. Look at y'all all these years later. Relationship.
I'm so blessed.
Relationship. You guys are on it, man. You know, it's no coincidence that you all would be sitting there like this, doing what you're doing. Like with me, I just thought I'd share that story because it's so powerful about when you have a skill set and you feel you can be of help to someone and you can come together on the same plateau. And with you guys, it's amazing. I got one question for both of you. First off, are you all ever going to record together again? Are you going to do something together? Are you going to do something with that? Even though I know it could be jazz, it could be almost anything, but have you even thought about that? Because I'm almost certain there's some magic there. Got to be. So have you all thought about that?
I would love to. Jay's a superstar. He's the one with the #1 jazz
Well,
records.
For me, I don't know. I'm at that stage from doing it for so long. You know, I don't know. I'm just pretty full. I'm okay with where I am now. I don't know if I ever do anything else.
I feel the same way.
Are you telling me, Jay, you're not going to record no more?
I may, but as of right now, I don't have any kind of ideas or do anything right now, and so.
Well,
but I'm good. I'm good.
I guess I might have to be the one to bring him out of the woodshed there.
I guess.
Yeah, with the talent, and you know why it's kind of it sounds contradicting because I just seen this brother a few months ago with a CD release party at Uncle Mike's in Boca. So he sounded like he lied.
Well, Suzi's brought me out. Suzi's bringing me out again, and I thank her for that. And I'm really excited to do it. And so, yeah, it's great. I'm looking forward to
I think we feel the same way. This might be our last big hurrah.
Suzi, are you doing any performing in California at all? You doing anything out there?
Honey. I've been a massage therapist for 32 years and a Reiki master. I have 5 jobs.
That's good.
I have 5 jobs, including this concert, including music is 1 job, but I have 4 massage therapy jobs at 4 different fabulous places. So
that is great, man.
Wow.
Well, you know, I say to people, and I'm going to wrap up, man. This has been such an exciting night for me. You never say never in this business.
Yeah.
And Suzi, when I asked you Joe why, you already told me they called you to do it. Didn't you tell me everything about what you're doing? So who knows? I know you still got the chops. Might be a jazz tune. You might throw your lyrics on it and pop it out there. I'm just going to say it like, Jay, I know. You know what, man? When I think about you guys, I think about people like Quincy, man, Sinatra, you know, Aretha Franklin, people who, they're timeless, you know, Neil.
That's right.
Timeless, man. And you guys got talent. And honestly, for me, that is why I'm 71 years old, man. I feel damn great. I don't even think about my age. It don't even matter to me. Right. If I didn't have a knee surgery a few years ago, I'd still be running marathons, man. I went in my pool and swam for an hour yesterday. I don't think about my age. In spirit, there's only maturity. And with your intellectual property, when you got a gift like that, like this girl come across my channel like this, and I gave a lot of thought. I prayed about it. I said, you know, people come along that maybe your IP could be of help to them. She's just younger, 20-something man, and fiery, just want this business. And I let one of the producers who produced Rachel hear it. He said, yeah, man. Everybody I let listen to it say, I'm gonna send it over to you, Jay, and let you check it out.
Okay,
but point
sure.
Man, if it's innate, if it's intrinsic, if it's inherent, it's inborn in you, the universe is gonna always allow you to knock on the door. And that's absolute truth. So I started with music. I'm gonna reduce my screen and go back to that little cool instrumental I was playing and say, Suzi Carr, I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. I haven't seen you in almost 40 years. The fact that you're just bringing your circle all the way around. Jay, thank you for saying yes, because he seems so reluctant, Suzi. Let me put his ass on the spot. Like,
you know what it's meant to be.
I don't do no podcast, and I know, Jay, shut up. Come on over here and tell people about your story, man. Your story matters.
I have to say one thing.
Yes.
One thing, when it's meant to be, it falls in your lap. It's been like that my whole life. And last week I was in Malibu working at this real ritzy place where I work. It's $11,000 a week to go there. We get a lot of billionaires and movie stars and politicians and a lot of really famous people come there. Well, this man was one of the massage therapists said, Suzi, you got to work on this man. He's like a big person with Sony. He's a big producer. You got to work on him. He does Will I Am and blah, blah, blah. And I had worked on Will I Am there and his fiance, who was adorable. So I said to her, no, I don't want to work on him. You work on him. And so she introduced me to him. And I just loved him. He's German. I just loved him. So when he came out of his massage with her, he came into where I work and sat with me for like 15 minutes. And he said, do you have anything that you own all the rights to? And I said, nah, Epic owns everything on Baby I Love You Way and all that. And then I started thinking, I own all the rights to the one that got nominated for Grammy a couple of years ago that I did with Randy Waldman. So I've sent that to him. I mean, he may come up with something. Maybe he'll put it out in Germany. He knows the guy that I had 2 more #1 records in the UK on Radical Records with this owner named Jürgen, who's from Germany. They're friends. So, you know, when something's meant to be, it's going to fall in your lap anyway. So I don't know if anything will come out of it, but it kind of got me a little bit excited.
Oh, good.
You never know. You never
know.
I know you guys got something inside of you. And, you know, even as songwriters, man, you know, I always tell people you can go to your grave and still be doing something in this industry that would be of help to someone else and very gratifying and monetizing. Because I said, where there's passion and purpose, the universe gives you possibility. Gregory Griffith calls it the P3 theory, and I do believe that you can monetize your passion forever, no matter what the White House is doing, no matter what the economy is doing, no matter how many times gas prices go up, you know. And I always say, I just use me as an example, never bragging to no one, that I wake up every day and I give all glory to God. I'm a retired teacher, 31 years. I'm still in the entertainment industry. I still own property. And I found that anything you just love to do, as Suzi Carr, Johnny, Dr.J, Saxman James, y'all love doing this. And I want to give y'all one last plug. August 28th, Friday night, great, going to be old school R&B pop, reunion of a whole lot of great people from the 80s and 90s. Come on out and see them, but come out and see their show. Suzi and Jay have been, always been mainstays right here in South Florida. It's been a pleasure to have you guys on the show tonight. And like I said, Suzi, I'm going to see if even if you don't get them, I want to see if I can come and check you guys out.
Thank you. We'll see what we can do for you.
We'll look forward to seeing you.
Well, you know, hey, at the end of the day, I can say thank you so much, even if you do or don't, but thank you for this, being there tonight. Like I said, I started with music. I end with music. I love you guys. I appreciate you being here tonight. Hang on a minute. I'm going to air out of here, but I want to apologize to y'all a minute. But tell you once again, don't miss the show at the Hard Rock. You don't want to miss it, because they gave some great old school names. August 28th, Friday. You want to be there. Till the next time, maybe come on out Thursday night, get inspired, get empowered, or check out who you are now to be what you want to be. The masterclass is all about the next level. Greg Griffith, the host, the Activator Stagnate Show. Every time you come on this show, you're going to walk away just lifted a little bit. And you too tonight, papaya. You lifted us up tonight, baby. Thank you so much. I'm grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. GG.
Bye, Suzi. Love you, sweetie.
Thank you, Jay. Love you.
Can't wait to see you.
You too.
Suzi, I see the sun coming down out there in California. I see the sun coming through your window.